All right, hi loves. I'm here, I'm live. I just got the news. I'm very, 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 very upset. I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. And of course with YouTube, I have not seen this is gonna be my actual live reaction of the video as well. The actual video message she made. So because of YouTube, being glitchy and stuff, I don't want to have a copyright or anything like that. So I'm gonna listen to it with my AirPods on my phone. The audio sounds great. I can hear it on my end, so I don't have to worry about that for now. I'm gonna hop over and watch the video, guys, and give my reaction. I'm really pissed off right now. I have a lot to say, and just a little disclaimer. I am going to be talking about the treatment of the princess. I'm going to be talking about, of course, Harry and Meghan. So if you are a major, I'm just letting you know now because it's gonna fly, bro. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat what I feel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. So before we get into all that, I just want to say, if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I did a video warning about this domino effect and what's to come from probably now at least a year or 2 years ago. That video I'm gonna have. It's in my community tab. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to put too much out there because some people are crazy, but the video will be there. Okay, those of you who've seen it and you guys were there live, it's over 7,000 views. So majority of you that have been following everything pre-Harry and Meghan marriage will know what I'm talking about. Want to make this very clear. This video is going to talk about why she has cancer, okay, and why I think she has cancer, and what has led up to this. You see what I'm saying? I'm not just going to be talking about the humdrum. I'm going to be talking about really my feelings from getting the news. So a little disclaimer once again, if you are a major, if first of all, if you're an anti-royalist or you're anti-monarch or you're anti-Catherine or you're extreme pro Meghan and Harry, then this video is probably not for you unless you want to be severely irritated, because I will be bringing them up, and they are definitely a part of the reason why this has come about, for real. And this is just how I feel. So those who don't feel this way, you're free to feel how you feel. But then if you don't like what I'm gonna say or other people say, then my advice is don't watch videos like this, because I'm going to give my personal opinions to it. And, I cannot cater to everybody watching. I can't cater to everybody's thoughts. This is something that I was warning about from at least 2 years ago. I was warning about this. I was warning about this. It does not help when you have a sister-in-law and you have a so-called brother-in-law, or AKA supposed to be family, right? It doesn't help when your so-called extended family or family that's married into this family. It doesn't help when you have people calling you a racist. Doesn't help, guys. Doesn't help. And it's so unfortunate, the choice that Harry made, because after hearing this news right now, I think that Harry should be over there. I think that Harry should go over there, and I think that Harry needs to get his ass to work. What the hell is he doing in Montecito, California? No one will ever know. And the only obvious reason I could think of is Meghan. That's the only reason why he's over there in America, and his papers are not even cleared. And here in America, we have an upcoming election in November, And at least Trump, I know Biden, I've been seeing little tidbits of it. Both future presidential, you know, candidates to be president either again, because they both have had a term. Biden and Trump have both had a term. And I know for a fact, and I've seen that both presidents have been here and there talking about Harry's papers. So he's not even clear to even really be in America like that, especially as a so-called British royal. You know, as Sharon Osbourne said, what the hell is he doing over there? It's like ice and water. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, you know, immediately after I heard the news, of course, I, you know, was very saddened, because that was one of my thoughts. You know, when I originally reacted to the King Charles cancer diagnosis, that was my original thought, was that they both had it. That really was my original thought. But I don't really think I went in depth on it, because, you know, they never said anything. And so that was like, you know, the worst case, one of the worst case scenarios, besides the whole coma, all the coma rumors, which now I would love to see if the Spanish press is going to refute that and diffuse that and shut that down, because there was all this stuff about coma. And there was even some royal correspondence that I was tuning into that were alluding to her having a breakdown. And that was the most recent video, was me seeing all these different videos of all these so-called royal commentators constantly comparing her to Diana. And from some of the details that some of them provided, it sounded like they were trying to say that she had some kind of breakdown, and that she's not able to go out in the public. And so now, because it's kind of risen to a crescendo, from the weird photograph to the fake, you know, body doubles that people, you know, we're all thinking that these are fake, right? I mean, it's been taken off the internet, you know, not the internet, basically, these websites, right? Like, you know, the photo that allegedly William took and that Kate edited, and it all turned out to be fake. You know, it was fake. So this is not okay. This is not okay. And so, yes, I'm going to be talking about what I think should be done. And, you know, I'm not going to dance around the truth, guys, you know. So once again, if you're brand new, and honestly, if you're like a major Meghan and Harry fans, or you don't like Catherine, I don't really think you should watch this video, because I'm not going to say very nice things about them. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be overly nice, because they're a part of the problem. They're 1,000% a part of the problem. And anybody who can't see that is just God blank blind, or doesn't want to see, you know, that stress does cause disease. Let's put it out here, you know, stress does cause diseases. And so, according to her friends and things like that, you know, they're the ones who said that she's been under intense stress because of the falling out with Harry and Meghan. So I don't know if people who are honest and don't have, you know, they're not being, you know, cash isn't being put in their pockets to not tell the truth. I don't know who's going to tell and cover it accurately from who's not. But all I know is that I have not, when this news first broke about her abdominal surgery, you know, I pulled all the way back, because I already knew that there was something deeper going on, you know, aka spiritual warfare. I already had a feeling that there was multiple layers to this. And so until things kind of risen to a certain climax, a certain crescendo, then did I say, okay, well, it's time to look a little bit closer, because it's not adding up. You know, the information we were getting was very contradictory. So with you guys live, I'm going to be able to give my reaction to the video. Once again, I most time I could put a video up, but because of YouTube and all these different things are putting out nowadays, I just don't want any issues. So I'm just going to listen to it with my AirPods. And it's only, how long is it? 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So I'm gonna, here it is. So I'm gonna watch the video here and give you guys my live reaction, because I haven't seen it. I just got told the news, and then I was like, oh my god, this is some BS. This is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. After all the, Kate's missing, all the speculation, this is awful. It's not just awful for, it's especially awful for her. Let's be real. It's awful for her, because she's the one that has to have the stamina, have the health, have the strength to fight it, to fight it. So that's who it really sucks for, to be frank with you. And I have to add this. When the news broke about Charles getting cancer and Harry and Meghan took their ass down to Jamaica, unfortunately, and they were laughing up a storm, and I posted a YouTube short about that, and they were, not a care in the world. I think back to things like that. The fact that you have somebody so close who's funded your lifestyle, who's covered for you, who's picked up your phone call when you've trashed the family, and you're laughing. You're laughing. You're acting like, this is all about you. And I actually put a response post and said that, for the Bob Marley, which I saw, and I am, I have Jamaican blood in me as well, proudly, on my father's side. And I responded and I said, that's not how you honor somebody. When you're honoring somebody's life and you're going to a movie premiere, you don't make it all about you. You don't make it all about you. And that's what they did. And so even if you're smiling up for the camera and you're playing into the camera, the fact that your father, Harry's father, has cancer, and you're acting like that, you're behaving like that in public, just speaks to your character. And like I said, anybody who can't see how they get down is choosing not to see it. And they're probably anti-royal, they're probably anti-monarch, they're probably anti-Commonwealth Day and all these other things that they do for the country and the countries they serve. They're probably against royals. Let's be real. People that are way extreme, they're probably against this whole institution, this whole way of business, this whole way of, having a family, a royal family that's basically showboated for a symbolic reason. That's the only conclusion I can come to, because you don't know these people. I'm saying? None of these people that hate Meghan and hate Catherine and hate William on a deeper level, they don't know them. You see what I'm saying? So to me, what you based it off of is character. What's your character like? How do you conduct yourself in public? And so with that said, I have the right to say that, because that's what they're showing me. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very chauvinistic attitude. So, I just think in general, you get such a serious news like that, why would you want to be on Front Street laughing up a storm and looking like a horse, basically, like an asshole? Why would you want to do that? But Harry and Meghan, they never seem to fail to look like assholes. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. That's their brand. So, that's just how I feel about it. So to know that they were laughing like that, and it wasn't just because of Charles, and now it's actually Catherine as well, makes me feel sad for her, because you have people that are supposed to be in your corner, your family, and your family just wants to trash you. You know what I'm saying? Your family just wants to cash in. I'm surprised that they haven't been on some primetime, network talking about her diagnosis, because they're so money hungry, they're so power hungry, and they should be ashamed of themselves. I heard that she, I'm not even going to get a promotion, but I've seen it, around the time that they were talking about Catherine, Meghan was launching all this stuff. Once again, guys, it stinks, it reeks, it's not wholesome, it's crazy. And it's just a complete lack of care, complete lack of empathy, complete lack of support. I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but to me, as God as I witness, they're part of the problem. They are the problem, but they are part of the problem, because you told the whole world that your relative is a racist. And when is Harry or Meghan going to take accountability for that? And you have told you basically bullied an innocent person, and you've told the whole world this disgusting, salacious gossip, which is false and fake, and that has caused her to stress out. And for anybody watching, then anybody out there thinking, well, if it's not true, why would it stress you out? Well, two ends of that spectrum can be the same and can be truthful, right? If someone is lying about you, if you know you're innocent, that can stress you out. Just like if somebody is, doing what they're alleging and they're stressed out. Two can be, two opposite reasons, two opposite spectrums can be the case. You see what I'm saying? So to me, knowing their history, knowing what they do for money, I can confidently say that is a part of the reason why she is stressed out. And anybody cutting over that and skipping over that is because why? I'll tell you why. They want this family to fail. They want the family to fail. They want this whole monarch business to be out of business. They don't want this traditional thing anymore. Okay, because if that's not the case, they wouldn't be going so hard against them and against Catherine in particular, because Catherine has been a target for quite some time now. She's been. So, I'm not even going to try to speak to the Meghan and Harry crowd, but what I'm saying is how disgusting, how distasteful. Harry landed for less than even a week, when his own father got a cancer I'm stretching it out now. Even when his own father got a cancer diagnosis, he landed and then went right back out. No duty, no work obligations, no engagements, nothing. They're providing us nothing. And so they have these titles. They're in California. Why do they have it? Why do they have it? Because for emergencies like this and for times like this, I feel like they should be stepping up. And fuck Meghan, not even Meghan. I'm saying Harry, because Harry was born into this, right? Harry was born into this, and this is his brother's wife, and that is his father. So two direct, close relatives are ill, and I don't see any sign of Harry. I don't see where Harry is volunteering himself. I don't see where Harry is injecting himself to work and to pick up the slack. And of course she has it. When she's doing 4 times the work, when they stepped down to all their hoopla and all their drama, who took after them? Who took after little wee Barry, Harry, and Meghan? Who took up their slack, guys? William and Catherine. So if you break it down like the way I'm breaking it down, it's not really that surprising, because they have been working, they've been basically doing their dirty job. They've been doing their dirty work while they're partying in California. They're over there across the pond busting ass. So, I mean, I'm intrigued. To put it lightly, I'm intrigued to see, now that the news is out, I'm intrigued to see what, certain pundits and certain journalists that I think have it right on the nose. I'm interested to see what they have to say, because if they're honest, they're going to cover it the way that I'm covering it, which is she's gone under a lot of stress. Stress can cause cancer, being poisoned, witchcraft, all the like can also cause these things. But stress is a big factor. Everybody knows that, you don't get stress from having a healthy immune system, a healthy body. You get that disease. You get that disease because you're at dis-ease. And so no wonder why she doesn't want to do anything. No wonder why she thinks she can't do anything. It's because why? Y'all the whole time she's gone missing, those who are who kept bringing up this whole affair bullshit, right? Y'all were the ones, or I'm talking to the haters now. Y'all were the ones who, while this poor lady was sick, y'all were the ones talking about an affair. And adamantly, and I know who, and I hello, not even YouTube. I'm talking about really Twitter. Okay, I'm talking really about Twitter, right? The amount of accounts that were saying that she's getting a divorce and that it's because William knocked up this Rose chick who's happily married, by the way, and they're both married, but they keep bringing this up. Why? Who dropped the bomb? Meghan. I told you guys, it was partially Meghan the reason why they got that gossip rumor to begin with. She has connections, just like how she got Sharon Osbourne fired and Piers Morgan let go, and all the rest of them who were speaking out against Meghan. Meghan personally went to all these channels, went to all these stations, and she was expressing her displeasure for what they were saying about her, and they got them fired, guys. The evil mastermind behind this is, who do you think? I mean, I just told you. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's her camp, and they can't deny it now, because the whole time that she's been out of the public eye, who are the people? What is the camp? Which camp is it that was going on about William Affair this and William Affair that, and oh, she's getting abused, and oh, she's don't think I forgot. Don't think I forgot. It was those exact Meghan and Harry fans who were out here talking about, she's leaving him. I bet she's leaving him. Blah 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 blah. It was those folk. It was those folk that did it, and that kept spreading that nonsense. And even those who were, I would say, harmless and maybe don't dislike Catherine and William, even they were jumping on the bandwagon. I never did, because I never fell for the bullshit, right? From day one, I told you guys that William is faithful. The Rose chick is a close friend. The fact that the media and certain people who hate them and hate their union and hate what they represent would go to trashy blogs and concoct this garbage is ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous, guys. So I'm never going to forget. I'm never going to forget, no matter which way this goes, right? And it's really about Catherine, because it's her health on the line. When I get off here, when we all go do our regular lives, it's her. It's her that has to fight this horrible thing that her father-in-law has and that she has, which is called cancer. So, but I'm never going to forget. I'm never going to forget the countless faces, the countless people who really, with full confidence, were saying that they were going to, it's because, William knocked up somebody else. And that's why she's in hiding, because she's embarrassed. I mean, look at what they were saying about her. Look at what they were saying about their marriage. And the whole time a lady, as I knew and you knew, is sick, was having some kind of mental and physical issue. Clearly. So shame on them, and shame on anybody who was using that as an opportunity to attack their marriage, which I never did, and I'm proud of that, because that was never it. That was never it. And once again, they're skipping over the culprits, they're skipping over the truth, and they're going a beeline straight to William. Why? Because they know that William is going to be king. That's why. And so those who hate the family, those who hate the royals, guys, is common sense, and they know who they are, right? They're the reason why this has happened, because they're the ones who want to see this family, this couple destroyed. And you know that, and I know that. And so they were getting high off this. I can't even count how many crazy posts I've seen, of people saying that William knocked up somebody, and that's the reason why she's in hiding. I mean, and they believed it. They believed it. And guess what? They still may believe it. They still may believe that's the truth, and not that she has cancer, because they're so sick in the head. So really, people have so many different opinions. Unfortunately, with the weird video and the weird photographs and everything else around it, and Harry and Meghan just being awful people, sadly, it's not probably going to go away. Sadly, it's probably not going to go away. All this stuff drummed up that people have concocted in their minds is probably going to stay there. Because let's be real, if some people think that the reason why she went in hiding is because of a secret love child, well, guess what? They're so sick and messed up in the head, they're probably going to still think that, right? If they really believe that, they're probably going to still think that. So anyway, let me go to the video, because we're passing 24 minutes, and I think I don't want to make this an hour video. I don't got time for it today. This is very, very troubling news. So so I'm just going to look at the video now. Okay. I'm watching it now. You just kind of zoom this. So I'm going to watch it, guys, and I'm just going to give you guys a reaction. Well, I have so many thoughts, guys. I have so many thoughts. I have to pause real quick at minute 1 and 29. I have to pause real quick, guys. And I meant to actually say this at the beginning of this video. I meant to actually say this, which is, thank God that I was able to pray with you all in the very first video that I felt comfortable, because I really was very adamant about jumping into this head first, like a lot of people did out here, and that's up to them. But I was very cautious because I knew that there was something bigger at play. I knew that in my soul. And so hearing her talk about her children, which is what I remember, praying about with you all in the first video, I did a public prayer. And I was saying, any tormenting spirits, God protect her children. I literally did a prayer. And that, as she was talking, I kind of just went right back to that, because that is the focus. She is a mother. She is a mother first and foremost. And so that's what I think of. I don't even think of the duty aspect. I think of, well, Charles is there, but Charles is kind of hanging in the balance. The popularity because of Diana and the affair is not up there. I'm saying, if we're being honest, a lot of people didn't want Charles and Camilla. They quite wanted us to skip over them and go straight to Catherine and William. And I'm kind of beside myself, because just after that marriage, that wedding to Meghan, it's been a complete crap show. Like, the Queen dying, the Queen's husband dying, Philip, Pippa Middleton's ex, who is also part of the family, Thomas, found dead, laying somewhere with a gun. Then Charles, Charles and Thomas, then now Catherine. It's just kind of like, yes, it's hard to watch, because I've always said that she's been incredibly thin, and there's been a lot of times, throughout the years, guys, if you actually look at my content correctly, and the not Meghan and Harry labeled videos, the videos are just labeled strictly for the royal family as a whole. There's been many times I've come on here and said that she's underweight. She looks underweight. She looks stressed out. Even as recent as top of the year, guys. Remember that video I did top of the year where I said that she just how can I put this? You don't get that skinny for no reason. You know, whether it's your diet or, you know, you're super active or whatever. The bottom line is certain people that have a certain frame and look a certain way, it's not because of just athletics. You know, I'm a very fair commentator, you know, in my commentary. Like, I think I'm being very fair. Like, you know, some people, like Amy Winehouse, you know, before Amy Winehouse passed at a very, very young age, she was always known as being a drinker. But not just that, her frame, her body was almost like a skeleton. And it was because she was going through a lot of tumultuous and hard relationships, and as well as dealing with fame and her addiction. And so I'm using Amy Winehouse, who's also British, as an example, because Amy Winehouse is, what I'm saying is some people can be thin, but then there's an unnatural thin, and there's a thin, and there's a kind of body thinness that, you know, is ill related, is bad health related, is stress related. It's not because they're in the gym 4 days a week, 7 days a week. You know, some body frames look the way they look because they're going through a tough time, you know. And so, yes, you know, we can, I and you and anybody can say, oh, you know, gorgeous dress, you know, wow, you know, because didn't Catherine plan the last the last Christmas service, apparently, when she was dressed in all white and all that type of stuff. And I'm just saying, guys, I'm just saying, and I'm not trying to be mean or funny or anything, I'm being honest. For a while now, I've brought it to the attention, and I've said that she looks, it's troublesome. It is, you know. And so, by the grace of God, by the grace of God, and I kind of want to segue into why not accepting stress is so important. I know in this case, she's a working royal. She represents a commonwealth. You know, she has a certain prestigious title amongst man and woman in society. I get all that, but this is exactly why. I mean, especially for us who are not, who don't carry that burden in society. You know, this is why not taking on stress and listening to our bodies is so important, because I even have family who've agreed and said, you know, a lot of cancer is stress. I personally, you know, have interacted with church members and family friends. It's been a while now, but I've been in, you know, the presence of a cancer survivor that was a close family friend, and had dinner and watch how they eat and watch how they, and it's tough, guys. It's tough. And I can't even fathom having children. Like I said, besides all the glitz and glamour, all the royal stuff, I just can't even imagine, kids or not, especially with kids. So I can't even imagine the depths of despair that it may feel like to the person who is having to fight it, you know. And how do you fight it? You know what? Because at that point, your body is turning against you. It's like your body is turned against you. And so this is why, and if any of you, you know, are suffering from cancer or know somebody close to suffering from cancer, you know, my outright sympathy and condolences. It's awful, you know, it's awful. And yeah, that's definitely a disease that you don't ever want to think about, you know, and that you would never want to have, you know, for real. And so it's just like, wow, you know, you're so high up, you know, you got the prince, you got the title, you got the kids, but now you're at such a low valley. And so her spirit life, her spirit walk with God, is going to be vital. I think that Catherine is of faith, but Catherine's walk with God, I think, should be at the focal, in my opinion. You know, you get a bad diagnosis, you get a bad report, you know, at least the way I think, and what I'm assuming a good person would do is, you know, draw closer to God, you know, because at that point, um, I can only imagine the mental spiral, you know, not knowing what you're going to get the next day, you know, because all that chemo and all that kind of undergoment, right, it is not a guarantee. We all know that, right? Those things are not a guarantee. So basically every day, I don't even know, like I said, I don't wish it on anybody. I don't wish it on anybody. I don't know how you would process that. And so, as she said, you know, she did say that this has been the toughest time, and I believe her when she says that. But it's wild, and I think it's especially wild that, you know, Charles has it and so does she. Two different types, I'm sure. Two probably different types of cancer, but cancer is cancer, right? And it is something that is deadly. It's deadly, guys. And so I don't want to, you know, get into the whole reunion stuff, but I think, you know, I think Meghan, I'm trying to be nice. I think she should be left out of it. I think if anything, Harry needs to pick up the slack and, you know, try to be of help, because whether Harry married, you know, Rachel, aka Meghan, or not, he was born into this, and he saw what Diana went through, and he saw what his father went through. And so if anything, I just keep thinking to myself, you know, Harry, for times like this, you would think that someone who calls himself the spare, you're calling yourself the spare, you write a salacious book with the title The Spare. So if you're the spare, then why don't you make yourself useful? You know, why don't you actually do something? Hey, just a thought. So you know, it's times like that, it's times like this where you want to have supportive family. You want to have people that actually give a damn about you. And sadly, I think in her case, you have, you know, vultures, to put it lightly. You have vultures around you who want to sell you out, who want to embarrass you, and you know, who get joy off your pain. And quite frankly, a lot of people who are anti this and anti that are going to get a lot of joy out of this, and that's equally as evil and equally as crazy. Because I wouldn't wish bad on anybody, but I just think it's just a simple fact that you know, I just don't know how any decent person, I don't know how any decent person can gloss over the simple fact that you have two of your closest relatives try to sell you out for a book. You know, I don't know how anybody decent can overlook that. I just don't get it. Um, you know, and I hate to even have to bring it up, but I just can't believe that people are gonna, you know, try to jump over that fact after knowing all the damage they've caused, and not just to Catherine, but to the whole family. And the joke of it is that they go around in America with these titles and don't do shit. They don't do anything, you know. And so, for the record, I think that, you know, they have induced the stress load. They've helped the stress load, absolutely. And, you know, they should feel bad because they're the ones who, in my opinion, sparked the fire. You know, it was the whole world, the whole country, all of America, you know, getting the news that, you know, she's been called a racist. And I think that that's something that, especially in 2024, nobody should ever play with. Nobody should ever play with that word. and what that means and the weight it holds and what it represents. And so I really think that they owe her an apology. They owe her an apology. I'm gonna leave Meghan out of the whole royal thing because she shouldn't even be there. So with Harry, um, he needs to do something. Um, the compassion, where is it? You know, the work ethic, where is it? You know, I haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that Catherine's uncle has been, I think, quite appropriately speaking out at times on that Big Brother show over across the pond in the UK, and he said that you know, they shouldn't have their titles, and so, you know, I think that Catherine's uncle has spoken, you know, for the family, which is they've caused a lot of damage, they've caused a lot of sickness, a lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreak, and they're partially to blame. Absolutely. And you know, I don't care if people watching are going to say, "Oh, that's so typical." So, well, they did it. They did it. They did it. And, you know, nobody else did that but them. They're the ones who put the knife in her back. They're the ones who took her off the edge. And you know it's true. You know it's true. And if there is something going on, you know, if there is something else going on in her marriage and private quarters, I'm sure that's something totally separate and private. I'm talking about what's public, right? I'm talking about what's publicly, I can see publicly and privately would have caused her to spiral. That's what I'm saying. That's the point that I'm making. Okay. And it's not right, you know, and I've said this in the beginning, that I don't think it's right to make money, especially salaciously, off your family. You know, I think it's awful. And so I think I've literally, and I'm not being even dramatic, I think I've literally only seen one article that even alluded to the fact that Meghan was trying to contact Catherine through back channels. Now, is that confirmed or denied? No. Nobody knows if that's the case. You know, we haven't seen a statement. We haven't seen a statement. Maybe they'll release one and chime in on the clout. I don't know. But you know, Harry was always with his sister-in-law, right? Harry was always with, you know, William and Catherine, and to think that now they're totally estranged and totally distant and not even contactable is crazy to me. You know, you are in a family that is so wealthy and holds the keys to a lot of doors, right? And you would think that with all that power, with all that money, with all that notoriety, you would think that they would try to be together and not apart. You know, if I was a part of a family like that, you would. I think it takes a really crummy, scummy, disgusting person to make money off of family that's especially now ill, but to make money off of somebody's misfortune, I think is disgusting. I don't know how I don't know how anybody with a clean heart and a pure mind and a right spirit could use your own family for money. Like I still don't, and that's what boggles my brain, is that people, there's actually people out here that have rationalized this because of Diana. Well, do some research about the role that Diana played for her own tragedy and what Diana did or didn't do before you just go on about Diana. Diana wasn't perfect. Diana wasn't perfect. So, you know, and her marriage to Charles was far from perfect. Clearly. So I just think that that Diana card is old, it's tired, it's worn out. You know, I've been tired of hearing that, oh well, because of Diana, you know. No, but you know, she's been long gone for a while now, you know, and if you don't have any common decency about yourself, especially right now, to care about your loved ones who have cancer and to care about their well-being, well then I have to come to the sound conclusion that you're just not a very good person, that you are just not a very good person. And so, you know, return to sender, return to sender. Anybody thinking that I'm speaking anything different, I'm speaking it as plain and professionally and as nicely as I possibly can, because I'm very upset about this. And I'm trying, to not respond how I could respond. I'm taking higher ground and I'm saying that this is all a contribution, guys. This is all a contribution. And I'm sorry to say it, but it's their camp that's taken this goblet and have spread all these rumors that the reason why she was in hiding was because of an affair. That's what I saw. That's what you all saw. You go on any social media platform and you'll find it. So, and what camp is that coming from? M&H. So, that's what I see. And then, of course, to be fair, you could say, well, the role that she has, the job that she has, being a princess and all, it's not all glitz and glam, and Fergie has, Duchess of York, she's spoken about that. They've all the royal ladies have spoken out against it once or once in a blue moon. They've all at different points have spoken out and have said that it's not all what people think. The pretty dresses, the diamonds, it's not all about that. And it's true, it's not. It's a part of it. It's a part of the beauty of it, but it's not everything. It's not all that it encompasses. And so, yeah, of course, in a general practical manner, you could think to yourself, well, the job as well, the role clearly could have also taken a toll. It's a huge responsibility. But I think that Catherine should speak for herself. If she thinks that the role that she's undertook by marrying into the family and by representing all these charities and all this stuff, if she thinks that that is the burden, I don't know. If she comes out and says that she thinks that the scheduling and the workload and all this stuff has stressed her body out, well, I don't know. Then I don't know what. Then at that point, I really don't know what positive direction this can go in, because in the real world, as I say, commoners, the common folk, in our reality and most people's reality, whether you're work for yourself or you're a contractor or whatever, part-time, full-time, whatever the heck you do, right? And this for majority of people, for 99% of people out here that are not royal, in that sense, to the world, if they hate a job, they leave, right? If a job is if a job is stressing them out, they leave. If they're in a work condition or anything like that that is causing bodily harm or mental harm or psychological harm, they leave. But if you're a princess, how do you leave that? How do you get away from that when it's a 24-hour job? You go, you do any little thing. I mean, I remember back when she was pregnant, I think with Charlotte. I remember when she was pregnant with Charlotte, and they had pictures of her going to McDonald's. I mean, imagine a crowd of people, paparazzi to be more specific, hunting you down and taking a picture of you getting McDonald's. So whether you're pregnant or you're on your menstrual cycle, so-called period, aka period, you know, having a bad day, or you know, you have cravings, whatever the case may be. Imagine, just imagine that you can't even go to McDonald's in peace. And it sounds kind of funny, but it's really not. It's pathetic. You know, you can't do anything. Is what I'm trying to say. So yes, you know, the rash, logical, um, thinking mind would say this could have been built up over a long period of time. You know, we don't know. We don't know if it's the role, the pressure. We don't know. Excuse me, guys. I have sinuses. Nose is running, but and my fan is blowing. I you guys see my fan is blowing really hard in here. It's cold. I have my hands in my pockets. It's so cold. But imagine, you know, what you eat, what you buy, where you go. You know, there's always somebody. And it's one thing if you're rich and you're anonymous, right? It's one thing if you're um, even a celebrity, but you don't really go to, you know, social circles and you just kind of go, you know, do your job and go home. It's different because some people can hide it better than others. Some people can maneuver notoriety and maneuver celebrity dumb and can maneuver all of that fame easier than others, you know. But if you're a royal, there is no maneuvering. You know, if you're a royal, there is no hiding. Like you can't like put on a mask for God's sake. You know, I know Michael Jackson, even at the height of his life, he reportedly would wear masks, you know, to go to the movie theater. He would have to put on, I mean, imagine that kind of life where you can't even show your face. You have to put on a mask because not only afraid, but you know people are going to start screaming and you know crowding you and everything that comes with that, guys. So I don't want to speak for her. I'm sure that you know, I think because of this, I think because of this, they definitely should it'd be interesting to see if she's gonna talk more. But she is still, it seems, undergoing treatment, and as we all know, it could go either way. You know, when it comes to certain diseases, it can go either way. So we don't really know what time frame or what's going to happen. But I think, like I said in my last video, I think her just doing this video is good enough for me. I don't know about you all out here, but her just doing a video talking about, you know, what she's experienced, what she's going through, I think is more than enough, in my opinion. And that's what I said. I said that if she just does a video like this and, you know, doesn't turn up for Easter, you know, which is originally scheduled, doesn't want, you know, doesn't go out for Easter, okay, whatever, you know, okay, whatever, you know, but a video is needed. And so thankfully somebody listened, somebody got the memo and they made her do a video. And so now it puts everything and everybody up, you know, to sleep. And there is no more speculation. The only other speculation would be from people who are, you know, haters of them, obviously, and don't like them. Excuse me, guys. You know, that's the only, it's really cold. I probably should turn off my fan. I actually was gonna, but I didn't want to, I don't want to feel hot either. But, you know, that's what I said she should have always have done, is just do a video. Do a video, you know, brief video explaining what the heck's going on, and then, you know, we move forward. And you know, that's what she's done. So I'm just gonna finish watching it now. But it is crazy though. It is crazy. This is crazy. That's insane. So her last sentence was, for everyone, hold on, for everyone, I'm going to try to read it for you guys. Go back. For everyone facing this disease, in whatever form, please do not lose faith or hope. You are not alone. That's the last thing she said. That shit is sad. That is sad. That is sad. Yeah, I'm beside myself, guys. I feel the same way. I feel that is one thing besides HIV. To be honest, to me at least, besides HIV, cancer is like next door. You know, that's something that you never want to hear. It's not the same thing. Obviously, I'm not being ignorant. I'm just saying that those are two things that could be terminal. You know, everybody knows that you could die from it, and it can be something that you have to constantly try to get better from, and it's scary. You know, it's very scary. So, my God, it's a weird paradox, though. It really is. You know, having you know everything at your beck and call, and then still being sick. Well, at least she has that. At least she can even get that, because there's some people out here that are, and it's going to be an hour video, and I didn't want it to be, or probably just right underneath an hour, but whatever, guys. You guys got a full video for me today, but you guys always do anyway. But it's I think about people that are dealing with some kind of possible terminal illness, or an illness that could take your life, and they don't have the help, and they don't have the money, they don't have the resources. So in a way, it's like, well, her and King Charles both have that. They both have the best care, as her uncle said, as the media has even said, but they have the best care, they have all the money in the world. But it kind of, for me, it almost makes me think of the weird what's what I'm looking for? The weird, eerie topic of people who are uber wealthy also being depressed. It kind of reminds me of these type of topics where you're like, people have all this money, all this, I hate to use the word power, but control, influence, and they still fall to sickness. They still get depressed. That's crazy, because I can assure you, and I'm sure we all can agree, the average working man and woman could only pray for $1 million. Could only literally pray for $1 million. Most people would dream of even having $1 million in the bank, and then you see all these people who are depressed, and they're in these modern mansions, and they got concierge and butlers and personal trainers and all the rest, and they're still depressed. And I was actually looking at stuff like that yesterday night based upon my timeline on Twitter. I was seeing different topics, and I was saying to myself, it's crazy how people pray for that. They pray for financial security. They pray to have a decent job of benefits. They pray for things that to us it's like a mountain. It's such a big deal. And then there's people out here that have all that and more, and they're jumping off balconies and they're taking their own life and they're getting into drugs and alcohol and all the rest of it. And so it's like, well, where's the middle ground, you know? And what example is it setting? Because you would like to think that if you're a multimillionaire, you're not depressed, you're not going to get sick, right? But then, you know, you see certain stories in the media, and even as with this one, you see certain things and you say, wow, you know, you have all of that, but you have cancer. I don't even have cancer. You know, it's like it's kind of like, what the hell, you know, like that money and that access is not even a shield. You know, it's not even a shield. Whereas you would think that, you know, once you cross over $1 million, you have some kind of shield, you know, against the problems of the world. And then to think that, you know, people that have monetary wealth are not even exempt from disease, not exempt from sadness, not exempt from depression, to me boggles my brain, because, you know, that's what regular folk are always fighting for. You know, regular folk are just fighting to not just survive, but they want to, you know, leave something for their children. They want to have a better quality of life. So for me, that's kind of the end point of what I've seen. I've watched the video now for the first time with you all, and that ending to that video was just like, wow, you know, even with all the money, you know, you could still get that severely ill. That's crazy. That's crazy to me, because, you know, most people just want $1 million. They just want something that is a cash flow. They want to be able to fulfill their dreams, you know, and to think that you would have all that money and you still can't fight the problems of life is kind of sick. But in her case, you know, she will have, I'm sure, the personal cooks and cleaners and all the rest. So she's very privileged in that fact, and I can't, you know, we're not going to jump over that either. She's very lucky in the fact that, you know, she has that at her disposal. She can hire and fire and bring in anybody she wants. And if it's done correctly, it should work. But like you know, with HIV and with cancer, you know, other STDs, other things out here, you know, some things are curable, some things are not. You know, we would love to say that everybody that gets chemo or everybody that gets treatment is going to just be brand spanking brand new, you know, Jim Dandy and able to get up and continue their life as it was before. But that's not the case. You know, some people, they have to months out, years out, from what I've heard, from what I researched, they have to be on medication, they have to be going in to get treatments and all the sorts. So it's not something that's a one-time fix. You know, it's not a one-time fix where you get one surgery and you're done. You know, for some people, it's a reoccurring thing that pops up in the body. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how she's gonna. It's a very peculiar thing because, you know, she does have everything at her disposal, but at the same time, it's like, well, there's no guarantee of how long, the impacts to her hair, to her body. You know, her hair for the longest while, it's so weird, has been a staple of her look. You know, I remember when she was just engaged to William, and every fashion magazine was going on about the Kate look. You know, the Kate makeup, the Kate hair, the big bouncy brunette, you know, curls, and, you know, her appearance was like a trademark, you know. And, you know, some people that have cancer, they tend to lose hair, you know, they lose other, they It's a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy to think about. I don't know. I don't know how she's dealing with that. Um, you know, if she did have any kind of emotional outburst, as I've seen other people allude to, which was on my last video, and I spoke out about that and what I think about that. You know, if there was any kind of breakdown, well, it's explanatory. You know what I'm saying? You're getting the news that you know your life is possibly over. If things don't shake out the way you want, the news that you're getting medically is that your life is basically at the end. You know, if you take away all the treatment, you take away all the healthy food, you know, when you get a diagnosis like that, guys, they're basically saying to you that your life can be cut short. That's the bottom line. So for one case or another, if what they're saying is the matter, the fact of the matter, and that, you know, if there was some kind of emotional outburst, there was some kind of breakdown, well, I understand it completely. You know, it's hard to understand that bubble of being a royal and having everything and still not being fulfilled or healthy. That's hard for me to understand. But as we've seen time and time again with these, not just royals, but with celebrities, you can have a hell of a lot in this world, and whether, you know, health wise or emotionally or even financially at some point, it all crumbles. That's why we have to stick close to God. That's why we have to give people to God. Um, if I was one of Catherine's close friends, I would say to her, well, you're in a season of recovery. So anything and anybody that is trying to prohibit your peace, and, you know, President Obama, Barack Obama was recently in London for an unscheduled meeting, and you know, there's been a lot of well, back when Harry was saying, you know, with Michelle and Obama, there was frequent visits, you know, between William, Catherine, and Harry. Not when Meghan was in the picture, of course, and you know, um, even with Queen Elizabeth, you know, Obama and the Queen were quite fond, and the Queen was quite fond of Michelle Obama as well. So part of me thinks, well, it would have made sense if Obama, I'm sure he probably gave some good wishes. I'm almost certain that the twice U.S. president, I'm sure President Obama must have given his regards when he visited recently, because he was in London and that wasn't scheduled. So now hearing the news, I'm sure a lot of people are probably going to come out in support of the princess, as well as journalists, as well as political leaders and people that hold, you know, certain positions in society. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are now, especially the Commonwealth, but I'm sure the allies and the Commonwealth, I think a lot of people are probably going to come forward now and release statements as well. I wouldn't be surprised. Australia, America, I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden all these people, especially the Prime Minister, of course, and the mayor of London, different things like that, are probably going to come forward and you know, maybe Charles and Catherine will do a joint thing. You know, what if they do a joint cause against cancer? That'd be interesting. What if they were to do that, you know? So, you know, this is why the video is long, because, you know, once I speak on a subject, I want to, you know, keep it in the archive and keep it there for forever, really, as long as YouTube's around. Um, and I never want to, you know, end a stream or end a video and not feel like I've said everything I want to say. So yeah, you know, I think now, um, that's very complex, but you know, they have the privilege to have the help, and it's really up to chance. You know, I wouldn't even say God. I think at that point it's really up to chance. But, you know, on a more broad level, for everybody else out here who's not a serving royal, um, for any kind of monarch, I would say this is a good pinpoint in time that goes back to self-care, goes back to health, goes back to without health, solid health, everything else is affected. Your relationships, your income, your ability to fulfill duty. Without health, it's harder. You know what I'm saying? That's a takeaway message I want to end the video on is it's harder if don't have that health, whether it's taken from you or you've destroyed it yourself, or it was inflicted on you through a tragedy or an accident or, poison, who knows, but especially in America, being unhealthy and an unhealthy lifestyle, especially over here in America, is predominant. They fry everything, the eating of meat, going back to that close family friend that I just shared with you guys, not in an exploitative way, I'm saying as a parallel comparison. I was in the presence of a cancer survivor, and I'm sharing that because this is what Catherine's going to be going through, and her father-in-law, which is, them having a vegan, most of the time a vegan-based diet, propels them into health. So I know that she was on the Atkins. I know that the Princess Catherine was on the Atkins diet. Look it up. The Atkins diet. Now, I'm not blaming anything. I'm just putting this out here just so you guys know for your own health reasons. The Atkins diet is very heavy in protein, very heavy in meat consumption. And Swedish studies and other studies I've looked into have said that certain intake of meat can increase heart disease, can increase cancer. I'm not saying that's why she has it, just to be clear. I'm saying that take this as a litmus test, right? Take this intake, guys, of what's happening around us, right? All these people getting cancer, people getting sick. Well, your diet can save you. Your diet can save you. And in my household and in my personal choice, I have decided to not eat any meat. I also made a video about that because not only is meat not even worth the money and it tastes disgusting whether you cook it good or not, for me it's not enjoyable. I don't even like the process of how they even take out the animal. I don't even like any part of it. And I was personally convicted to not have meat. So from personal experience and what I know about cancer from a family friend many years ago, as soon as that was the diagnosis, she went full vegan. It was a woman. She went full vegan. So I'm just putting this out here. And I think Bill Clinton and other people that have, had these brushes of tragedy have said that, they've gone vegan. So I'm just putting this out here, guys, like meat consumption is bad for many reasons. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know. Like I said, I think with Catherine, it's a culmination, right? I don't think it's just one thing. I think it could be a lot of things. It could be a potential, poisoning, spiritual attack, stress. It could be a lot of things, guys. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just putting this out here for us regular people that we are, the bulk of society, the 99.9 and down. We are the bulk. And so in general, there has been a trend in the past couple of years, with a lot of people getting cancer. So I'm just saying that check your diet, check your diet. If you are consuming something that has a higher chance of producing a disease in your body, don't eat it. Cut out the alcohol, cut out the meat, cut out the fats, cut out the saturated fat, cut out certain foods that produce illness in your body. And so I'm sure that because now Catherine has this, she's not going to be eating what she used to eat. I can almost guarantee it. It was probably strict then, probably going to be even stricter now, because that is a gateway. They say that when you're on a plant-based, fruit, veg, clean raw diet, it's easier to not only lose weight if you want to lose weight, but to get healthier and to have your blood well regulated, and for your metabolic rate, your metabolism, everything, guys. There's a lot of benefits. So I think it would only be fair if I include that in this video, because we're talking about health, right? And so this is also a personal decision that I've recently made, not because of any diagnosis, but because I know the difference in how your body feels, your rest, your sleep, and overall health. So I can almost guarantee it, if they actually care about her, they're going to be giving Catherine probably a plant-based diet. If they're smart. If they're not so smart, they're going to keep giving her things with meat and greasy sauces. But if they're smart, they're going to be giving her a lot of vitamins, a lot of herbs, a lot of things that are going to flush out her system, purify and detox her body. And that is the full recovery she's talking about. She's talking about that I have to have a full recovery. Well, that entails recovery, guys. What is included in the recovery is how you treat your body. So if there is any kind of eating disorders, right, they're going to have to look at it. I mean, with Catherine, they're going to have to look into all of that. But I'm just putting this out here for us that, if look at your gene pool, look at your ancestry, look at what the common things other relatives have had, right? Fergie cancer, Charles cancer, Catherine cancer. So yes, it could be an ancestral impact as well. So it's a lot of, factors, guys. Sometimes, sadly, in some families, cancer is a running thing, but if you do everything right that you can, you get your 6 to 8 hours of sleep, you're eating healthy, you're keeping your body active, not heavy, but light, light activity. That should help you. You know what I'm saying? And if you do all of that and you're still sick and you're getting worse, well then, God's calling you home. It's that simple. That goes for anybody. It goes for me. If you're doing all you can do, but your body is not responding, your body is in decline, well then it's a spiritual issue. It's a spiritual issue. And at that point you have to go to God, because God's the only one that can save you. So with that said, I love you all. I just really wanted to include that in this video because, these are things that from my own experience, I've seen other people go through. And I just know for health reasons that eating meat right now is just not a safe option. And I encourage anybody to give it a try and do your own research, even the men, because I know men are really big consumers of meat. But even with that, look into alternative proteins, because those things can build up in your body. It can, guys. It absolutely can. Remember, it's a carcass. It's a dead animal. It's a dead thing that you're inducing because it's cooked, but it's still a dead animal. Keep that in mind. And you're putting that in your body if you're a meat eater, you're putting that in your body every single day. So for the record, I'm not saying that's why. I'm giving you guys kind of the overview of different things that can cause distress in the body, and then therefore it can cause other higher issues, right? But I'm saying, the consumption, even with data, the consumption of meat can really mess up a person, especially a woman's body. It can really mess your body up. But of course, consult your own doctors, do your own research, all right? So that's my over an hour reaction, guys. That's everything I'm going to say about it for now. I've said everything that I want to say, as humbly and as nicely as I possibly could in regards to Harry and Meghan. They have a lot to answer for. They should be there for her. If they're not there for her, something's definitely wrong with them, I should say. Even if they don't even say, call her up, apologize, something, anything. But thank you guys for watching. So definitely, if you want to share, thumbs up. This is a good PSA also for health matters. Don't overtake things you can't handle, and when it comes to your diet, when it comes to your routine, and what you allow to happen and not happen in your life, make sure you have some firm boundaries, because these diseases are not, just for certain people. You know, it can get to anybody. So be very careful out here when in these very, very tumultuous times. All right. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye. Take care. Stay safe and be healthy. Bye.